And good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well today. Hello, Darth. When you say that you need to pay World Anvil a membership to share, you mean sharing it on their site, or do they somehow prevent you from copy pasting it to wherever you want to put it? You can't publish. Huh. Okay, it's okay. It's interesting. All right. So, all right. I'm gonna send this back. Turn to inventory. Because I want to test this guy's. So, are you going to be looking away from me or towards me? So you look away from me. Oh, man. Big. Okay. Let's see if I can make that happen. Man, this is going to be interesting. And I am well aware this is probably not the best way to use this, but the fun of it for me is testing stuff, finding out what happens. I do wish we had a camera that stays that stays lined up with the oh, Wow, there's surface coal here. Hmm. Hey, Ballistic! Welcome to the stream. I am playing Out of Ore. A fairly straightforward company where basically you are a mining company with trucks and all that. All that fun stuff. And you dig in the ground. Basically, think about it. I mean, you may not be old enough. Think of it like playing with your Tonka trucks in the sandbox. Basically, there is, there is a production aspect of it. Like you process what you mine. Um, at its basic, you've got coal, you've got dirt, you've got pay dirt. Pay dirt gets put through a wash plant basically, and it gets divided into gold, rubies, diamonds, and silicone. And that gets, processed into gold ingots, actual diamonds, actual ruby, silicone, ore. Then as you go deeper, you get iron, you get copper, you get what they call blasted stone, which can be processed to turn into gravel. Your iron can be turned into steel, and from there you can make stuff with it. What I enjoy currently with the game is that there is zero pressure. There is no timing, no ticking clock. There is no end game. There's just you, whatever goal you set for yourself. Like for me, I want to make an underground gallery to collect the coal that's there, and then keep mining down and down and um. more chill, less complex, because there's not, again, there's no end goal, so there's no giant chain of production, or there's the chain of production is no bigger than what you want it to be, because you don't need to make the items. This is, you can buy everything you want. My goal right now was to get this truck, the biggest truck that I currently have access to. And from there, dig my underground gallery. Although this truck is so big that I need to make my work platform here larger, because it can't actually, it can't easily maneuver. Like trying to get this load of coal into my. And there's, let me see. You're still playing Factory? I'm still playing it with Zorth. I 100%ed it. Okay, that feels a little loud. So. And at that point, I kind of feel like, since I've hit 100%, I don't have a need. You're working on a permanent base. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, like I said, I hit 100% on it, on the game, with Zort's help. Sure. Sure, feel free to share either a link to the picture or. So, this bucket is large enough that I'm unsure. Let's move you a little closer so I can watch. If I want to move you down, actually, let's go back. Let's 0 that. So 300 still looks good. Oh, of course. There is a show your work, or sorry, in Game Talk. There's a game pick channel. Feel free to send it in there. Wish we had a bit. You know what? You're giving me height, so how about? What can I reach? Whoa. Because clearly, if this wasn't there, you'd be able to. Do you need the link to Discord, Ballistic, or or are you already there? I forget that not everyone has access, knows where it is. It says the link is invalid. Really? That is odd. Huh. Huh. What? Since when? What the hell happened here? Okay. How the bleep do I edit that now? Okay, where's my list? Invites. Invites. Oh, right. Right. Okay. All right. Okay, I know why, and this is a situation of my bad. Uh, Now, how do I edit my channel? Okay. That. There we go. This now works. Okay. All right. Go there. It will take you to the lobby. Since we are doing this, real time, I'll see you there, and I'll open you up to the rest of the Discord. I've also updated the link um, on the channel itself, on the stream itself. So, okay, there you are. Let me give you a roll so that you can. There we go. There you are. Oh, I forgot to do something. Very nice. It is looking very nice. I like the light bars. Yeah. I yeah, my bases are never anything to talk about. Like I am not that kind of player. Every few games I go, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make a nice looking factory, and I don't. It ends up just being a bunch of machine on a platform. Basically, with Zorth, it's basically turning into I set up the machines, and if he feels like it, he makes buildings of them. Ever the this part, you've added some cosmetic thing. Cool. Reading machine online, make a couple. I don't know, temperature. Probably fine. Machine emissions. Section name. What do you mean your inspection's overdue? Isn't Ida keeping up with those? I mean, I can't speak. My factories are disaster zones, so they get the job done, and that's quite literally all I can say about it. And that's not even always true. Zorth has had to go back into the games and fix problems. Yeah, that is nice. I gotta be careful because that like the button this guard rail here is purely is not only is it decorative, but it's actually intangible, so it doesn't actually get the job done. Yes, yes, it is. I wish the music was a little louder because there is supposed to be music. Um, but yeah, it's part of what I like. Like this is the game I play on the weekend just to relax. I play Valheim during the week, and that is stressful. So on the weekend, I just you know when I have the time, I just I drop in here. Like I'll be playing this for another 2.5 hours, and after that, I've got a meeting, and after that, I'll probably drop by after that for a couple of hours because my next task isn't until 11:30 after the meeting. So, but yeah, like I just, and I even made the game harder on me than it needs to be because when you start the game, you start with well, the hard setting starts you with $1 million, and it makes the part, I've been told, it makes the part deterioration happen faster. And I did not do that. I started myself on the regular game, but I threw away all my tools. I only kept the axe, and I got rid of all my money so that my first task was raising my starting capital to buy my first machines, my first truck, and so on. And it's why I've called this game From Scratch, because I started from scratch with I mean, it's not exactly. Let me go up. Let me go up where you'll see something. I started myself in this. This was filled with trees before. So I cut down all the trees. You've got 3 actual quests. These are ways to bump up your experience and your money very, very slightly at the start of the game, but very quickly I find that these become useless. But there's 3 quests that are there more or less to teach you how specific machines work. Like the first one is about, learning how the workbench works. So they have you go through the step of making the fire watchtower. And, in the process, you work out, oh, okay, so you need to make, you've got it here. It tells you what it needs. You can see what you need to make it and so on and stuff like that. And what I realized after that is that once I've made them, I can sell the tower. And the more processed an item is, the more money you get out of it. To the point that it's actually possible to play the game without ever mining and making a lot of money. Because you can buy ores. You can buy your ore for, let's say, well, you know what, let's go. So if this is one of the, first machine you can buy. So can I buy ruby? Yep. So I can buy ruby ore. You like, yeah. Oh yeah, like, okay. This game is actively being worked on currently. We get at least about one update a week, and on some days we'll get 4 or 5. So the game is nowhere near being done, and I suspect that at some point, they will change things so that, playing the game without the funds, without the mining, will not be that easy anymore. You want to play, but you don't have the money. I get that. I get that. Throw it on your wish list. Wait for it to be on special. That's how, that is literally how I work for all my games, because I too have very little money. And actually, this game was gifted to me. Um, a viewer who has it, you know, he's a viewer of mine, and he had it. Like he saw that I had it on my wish list, and he went, "You know what? I've been playing it. I've been having a blast. Enjoy," and I have. Um, but yeah, like if you enjoy quiet games, like I highly recommend it. But yeah, yeah. It is very, it is a very fun game. And the thing is, you're not required. Like you can see, I'm mining by hand. So it's something that you can do if you feel like it. Like when I started, um, it started as something of a challenge for me to see how deep the ground goes. So I've got my, holy cow! I'm so I just, I made myself some flooring, and made myself a path, and it's just, this started as just as going down, and there's, so that up here, this is coal, this is iron, I believe, or copper. This is blasted rock. This is where I'm grabbing this is how I'm making the cement. Because one of the things that I set for myself is to avoid buying stuff. Sorry, avoid buying material. So I try to make everything. So these floorings and roofing are why there's no trees left around. I had to cut down a lot of trees. But yeah, they keep going down and down and down and down and down some more. And this is kind of where I went, okay, this is kind of where I went, okay, you know what? This is too much. And I just, started working on setting this up. But every so often, if I don't feel like dealing with the trucks, like dealing with work, I just come down here and get some trees, get some platform, and you enjoy Satisfactory Jesus. Is that a streamer? Is that somebody who posts on YouTube? I don't. That is not someone I am familiar with. Okay, so you were saying more as an exclamation than as someone. Got it. Okay. Can you back up some more now? Yes, you can. Okay. That may actually make things a little simpler for me. Oh, I see. Okay. So, okay. You interrupted what you were saying for an exclamation. Cool. but yeah, like, and one of the aspect that I enjoy, it's very minor, but it's the fact that the trucks have parts, and that over time they degrade to the point where your truck will fail. So you have to make a new part, and you can buy it. Like, you can go in here. Uh, so you can go in here and you can buy them. Like, the price is there. It's not extravagant, although, you know, it can be in circumstances a little, you know, when you're starting, but the truck should not fail when you start. But the other thing is that, you know, you have a machine that can make everything. So, you know, you reach a point where, again, like, you make everything you have. And that's part of the fun for me. Again, like, this is, you know, as I said, this is part of what I like about the game, is you play it pretty much how you want to play it. I need the GPS. The GPS is what gives me the information about my bucket, and until I was able to afford a GPS, was using the loader very interesting. There we go. Really? Oh well. Having done that, let's take advantage of it. Yeah, I'm waiting for a button that lets us return to our zero, the set 0 point on with the press of a button, instead of having to adjust it like that. This is, I mean, it's part of the fun. I do enjoy it, but you know, when you have to do this, the realigning all the time, it gets a little bit tedious. It is something that they've said that they will add. I do wish the camera could go further back. And you can have a view where you're in the truck, but I cannot, I just cannot drive this thing like this. Like, I have no idea. Like how am I? What am I? How am I supposed to see where I'm going? So, one aspect that I enjoy on the map is that we can see stuff happening. So we can see the what's where, how it's getting split, and all of that. and where. So it's possible to keep track. Like if you're going, okay, I've done that. I want to wait till everything's processed to go look at my machines. We can do that. But yeah, I would love a camera that keeps the bucket not just focused on the bucket, but kept us looking at the bucket. Let's bring you back here. I mean, I've removed some of the obstruction, so I want to see if you can go deeper. And I'm glad that you're enjoying Satisfactory. It is a fun game. I just find that I'm someone who, once he's finished something, I have a hard time just playing it for the sake of playing it. Like every so often, I kind of go, maybe I should. Um, the problem is that there is no quarter step. You mean with the nudging? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can understand. Well, I can understand that they needed to make a decision. Like, they needed to make a decision because at some point, you know, every change they make is extra coding that they need to put in, and at some point they had to go, you know, this is, this is as far as much energy as we want to put into it, so that the people have an actual game to play. But yeah, I get that. Let's start expanding this. But yeah, as I said, me and Zorth play it on Sunday afternoon. We're in his game. He helped me, do hit 100% in my game, so I'm helping him with his. Um, And we'll see what we do once we've done that. We are on the um, we're making the tier 4 items, I believe, or maybe we started on the tier 5. Sorry, not the fifth stage for the space elevator is what we're making. Phase 5. Thank you. I keep mixing up the tiers and the stage. But yeah, sometimes I kind of consider, should I return to the game and make the ultimate factory, the factory to rule all factories, basically have one building, one structure. Uh, you know what? Let's zero that, and let's do a bunch of. But then after that, my mind kind of goes, yeah, but don't you have 300 other games that you want to play? You finished this one. So the odds are good that unless Satisfactory adds a new stage, um, or that it becomes something that I do like with Zorth, where we play once a week together. Like it's how me and him socialize, because he's across the country from me, so. So, unless, we have a plan kind of thing, I'll probably not return to it. Which, is fine, because as I said, I have 300 other games that I keep going, I want to play. And, every so often I'll add more game to my list. Whoa, why the hell did you jump? Maybe I need to stop trying to go too fast. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe this truck has enough power that I don't have to barrel into something. Okay, that's the... Okay, that issue is the ledge. It's catching on the underside of my arm, and that's... Okay, that's why. Okay. Which brings up the question of, am I going in the wrong direction? Should I be starting low? You can get around the water. Okay, how? I was not aware of that. So let's see. If I do that. Okay, I didn't... Okay, you know what? I did not expect that to happen. Okay. You know I can attach sign to other sign. Yes, that I know. You know what? I think I'm gonna make a change to the flooring. That when it goes to a smaller grid, you can then the mini nudge. Oh, I did not realize that. That is interesting. Let's put it down. Ground. That clear? Yes, it did. Okay. I need to remove. I don't need anything, but I'm going to remove stuff. Um. Okay, so. Um. Okay. Need how much? You can do, yeah, that one I knew. Although they're not exactly quote unquote clean. You have to do a bit of finagling. All right, so now this will let me see the lineup. So that I can see when I'm, between quote unquote the lines. Yeah, diagonals. I've done curves for flooring. Um, you know what? At this point, I don't really need to be quite that precise because I'm actually going for a wall. Huh. And I just realized something. I can use that. I can do the same thing to help me line up. Because if I remove these guys, and okay, do I have? I can probably take these. Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, 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 no. Actually, you see it a little sooner. Although, granted, I do know where the line is now, so. there. This may give me a better radius to reach the core. Maybe, or maybe not. That's the thing. This thing's turn radius is so wide that it is making this very interesting. But I can turn. So there's that. Now that I've done that, let's see. What's the height of the bar? This thing. Alright, let's call it 200 centimeters. Which makes sense since on paper I believe they're 2 meters tall, so. Now let's see, can I rip this open? I'm not even there, so. Sorry. Alright, you know what? Let's go 200. Actually, I'm gonna try to reach the corner first. So. Let's see if I can clean the corner. Sort of. Okay, so I've cleared that. So now let's go one level. Let's go 200. Okay, let's call it ish. Reset that. I'll take bytes out of this. I can also make my own fuel. Like everything can be made in this. This is kind of nice, you know. So, but fuel, I'm not worrying about um, until there's a way to move fuel to a tank like that. Because right now that's just a fuel point. I buy the fuel from there. I'm on their Discord, so every so often I like to. Well, when I have like. Okay, so that's how much is okay. I was asking a while back if there was a way to overload the system, and somebody says, "Oh yeah, yeah, you can." And I'm looking at it. This is going up faster than I'm processing it, so maybe speeding up my stuff would be a good idea at this point. And the way I do that is by changing this by because this is a 1x. Okay, yeah, 1x speed. And if I go in here, power, I can go 2x, 3x, 5x, and 10x. Like, I don't think I need 10x, but 3x is probably a good idea. Now, the other thing that I need to keep in mind is that will probably triple my power demand. And that means I'm going to have to buy more windmill, more cabling, and all that stuff. So, let's take a look. Man, I got a lot of stuff. Okay, so, actually, I don't know if I can. Well, you know what? One, two. Let's do that. Let's. How much is one of these? 15 grand. The fact that they keep resetting is a little annoying. Okay, that processes my gold. Silicone is going to go in here, right? Actually, no, this is plastic right now. That is steel. Oh, you know what? Plastic, I don't need that much that quickly. So, just process the silicone and then process plastic. All of that can be automated. You know what? Let's grab the rubies. So that's going to be the diamonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's make it. Then the fun thing from my point of view is that you get a timer for how long it's going to take to process everything. So in 2 hours, this will be processed. Okay. Wait. Yeah, I had rubies. So how much money is this giving me? Yep, I got the diamonds. You're also, well, thank you. You are not required to speak constantly, so no worries there, but thank you. All right, so I've got 600 grand. Ta 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 ta. Power. So, times 3 is going to be 25 grand. Then wind turbine. That. Oh. Okay, so what's my expectation right now? Oh, okay. So times 3, let's call this 3. So that's going to be about 9K. I got 7. Because that my maximum is right here. That's going to be 9, so I might just need... Okay, you know what? I might actually be okay. All right, so let's buy this. Let's remove that. Let's... What? That's it? We triple the processing speed and... Okay, that's definitely interesting. This is my oil production and oil processing and oil storage. Okay. Huh. Okay, let's double check that it actually did what I'm hoping it did. Well, I mean, it cleared everything, so that went a lot faster. And that is 3 times faster. Okay, now I'm a little curious what happens if I raise you high. Well, you know what? I don't need to raise you higher. So, I'm not going to need that, so I'm selling you. The rest I might need. Okay, that was interesting. Utterly surprising, but definitely interesting. I was expecting the power demand to go up way more than that. Kind of realizing that I need to clear the top up here, up there, so let's just do that. open. Let's bring it down. Well, actually. No, actually, no. Let's leave that lying that. Let's see if I can grab, if I can turn myself around enough to actually grab that. That would be interesting. Okay, I can. Can I turn myself around this way? Yeah, the answer is Ada. Yeah. It's letting me do a pretty significant three-point turn. Yeah. I'm done. I can go back to above the wall. Guess I could expand this over there as well. You know what? Let's just keep going that way and let's get that's gonna be what? 1, 2, 3. One. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's make 5 walls. I'm gonna have to go blasted rock at some point. I am thinking of that. Something I may want to start adding is, and that will mean redoing my factory, is automating the processing instead of doing manually the way I'm doing it right now. When I automate stuff to the factory, I do lose. There is a loss in the automation. Basically, roughly, I think right now it's half. So if I process, like for example, if I process 1,000 gold ore in the manual smelters, I get 1,000 gold bars. If I automate it, I would get 500. I believe. I haven't confirmed the numbers. But the question I'm asking myself is, uh, do I need money so badly right now that, getting quote unquote 50% profit would be a problem? And the rough answer seems to be not really. Because I've got 600 grand right now, and not really anything I plan slash need to spend it on. So I think what I'm going to do once the smelters are done, which is probably not going to be this specific game, is sell everything, sell the ore, sell the bars and stuff like that for profit, and redo the factory. Sort of figure out and automate, figure out what I'm willing to automate. And right now, I think, because what I'm getting in really large quantity right now is pay dirt. Pay dirt means rubies, diamonds, gold, and silicone. Silicones, I don't need that much of it at the moment. There's also coal, but coal doesn't need processing. Coal is used in making other stuff or generating power, although I don't like working off of coal because I have to remember to refill the generators and stuff like that. So I like, and wind power is not so expensive that it's a problem. Like 100 grand for one tower that gives me 18. Is it kilo megawatt? You know, 18 kilowatt uh, kilowatt hour. Like, it's turns out that it's more than I need. So, and I can go. So, but yeah. So I'm thinking that might be the next project. Uh, Probably while I wait for. Once I'm done this, okay, you know what? Yeah, once I'm done this, to my, that I've expanded all of that, I'm gonna go mine blasted rock by hand. And once that gravel is processed, the gravel is processed is being processed into cement, because cement is on a they're manual machines. I'm going to use that time to redo the factory. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to go about it. What are you catching on? Oh, nothing. You're just realigning. Okay. What happens if I go this way? Ooh. Oh, this is kind of nice. This lets me do that. Which lets me clear this. Which means, in theory, go all the way there and do this. Should kind of bring me here. So not exact, but okay. This is telling me that once this is widened out, it's probably going to give me what I want. Why did I lose half? Why did I lose part of my bucket? It's not fair. Borrow these guys. exactly as efficient, but interesting. This one, I can literally dig in backwards. It's ultimately my goal is to clear up the space, not at this point. I think this is the way to go. Okay, so should I clear that so I can? I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to. That's quick. So what are you catching on? Those. Actually, let's back up. forgot to reset this thing. Oops. Now the goal is not to make this as deep as I can, but to give myself a run. I think that was the fuel tank. So, should have backed up, but yeah. Do I have floor? I have ceiling. Oh. Is that as a makeshift? Stuff though. Okay. Floor. If I want this to be and just so that this isn't too horrible. Is the implication that without a floor you really don't like this? Don't have that much cement left. see what we can do. I mean, the goal isn't really to make a floor because this is just to back into. So. The wall is just so that I've got a delineation so that I know where to stop. Alright. Just get me over there, and if it does, how much can I back up this? Oh, okay, this is way better. think it, okay. So, and just lets me do that. Okay. See if we can align. I'll line up. Probably not as much as I would like. But there's a definite how lined up do I need to be. How much is me obsessing over nothing? Okay, so I'm at the top, so we do that. I do that. Here's stuff. Here. Makes my job way easier. Since there, let's take advantage of it. And the downside of doing it is the mess that it's making here. Be nice if the walls were actual retention walls. I think it's time to remove the walls. I think it's time to actually expand. If I'm waiting for perfection, which is probably what I'm waiting for, it's never gonna happen. So let's do actual cleaning. Which means I need to make floors. Because will it be getting expanded? Floors, it's 4 per. How many? That's 88. You know what? I'll work with that. Which definitely means that I will have to that looks like it moves unobstructed, so I need a brake button. I mean, instead of a reverse, or I need to get used to using the reverse as a brake. just tapping the reverse to stop instead of holding it like, I would a brake button. And yeah, there's the space bar, but it's not flexive for me to hit the space bar because that button is with my scroll, with my wheel. So all right. There's also going to be a certain element of finishing this by hand once I have. Alright, let's see if I can do an actual U-turn. Not quite. Okay. But we're getting there. thing. It's touching the ground. Really nice to know when. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to. Yeah, this is gonna have to be cleared manually. I don't think there's any way around it. The floor is gonna have to be cleaned manually. Alrighty. All right. In with that. Holy cow, do I have a lot of dirt. Let's sell that. All right, and with that, I am going to call this a stream. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for dropping by, keeping me company. Thank you, JD Ballistic. Thank you, Darth. Thank you, anyone else I may have missed. I will do my best to return. Probably in an hour and a half, give or take, after my meeting, basically. I'm not probably playing for an hour. Continue cleaning this up, and yeah. So I hope to see you then. If I do not, I hope you have a good weekend, a good week when it arrives, and I'll see you when I see you.